This is the Kindie Rockstars Podcast, Season 6. Bringing you incredibly talented singers, artists, creators, and producers in the genre of children's music. I'm your host, Patrick Adams. Each episode will feature songs, album features, or video features, and great stories from the artists themselves. Kindie Rockstars Season 6 is proud to be supported and sponsored by Waldmania Public Relations, serving the family entertainment community for over 20 years, and Debbie Derryberry Kids. Debbie Derryberry, one of Hollywood's most active and sought-after voiceover artists, is best known for voicing Jimmy Neutron in the Academy Award-nominated film Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, and Draculaura in Monster High. A lifetime musician and songwriter, Debbie has written and recorded 4 award-winning preschool music albums. Her song Baby Banana hit #1 on Sirius XM Kid. Her song, written with Grammy-winning artist Lisa Loeb, called The Compost Bin, has won a Napa Award. Her latest album, Gotta Go Green, also a Napa winner, is all about giving kids tangible ways to save the earth through recycling, composting, reducing carbon footprint, and more. Her YouTube channel, Debbie Derryberry Kids, combines her love of cartoons and music with delightful animated videos of her songs. Children listen as well as watch, so a visual component is so important. Kindie Rockstars thanks you so much for your support, and now, on with the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Kindie Rockstars, and I am delighted to have on the show today, we've got Lisa and Joanie of the Hat Ladies. Welcome to the show.
Yay!
How are you guys?
Good, Patrick.
We are great. Very happy to be here.
Awesome. It's great to have you on, and I'm excited to learn about you. So tell us about the Hat Ladies. How did you get into making music for kids, and how did you choose the name the Hat Ladies?
Okay, there's a lot of, okay, that's a lot. So first of all, how did we get going? So we've been playing music, we've been teaching artists for our entire lives. Like both of us have like a string of bands that basically tell our history. So we've been making music, producing music, session music, traveling, touring, all of that. But we're also school teachers. So, and we're sisters, by the way. So we have the same upbringing with the music.
And the same parents.
And the same parents. And so we've been as songwriters, because we're songwriters, and being with kids, writing music with kids, for occasions, for something like events you might need. We've been doing that for years because sometimes it's easier than finding like the right exact song. So we've been doing that. And then one day, the band we were in before, we were just feeling, we had been doing that for like a long, long time. And at the end, sort of the end of that tenure of that band, if you
when we
will.
retired that
Yeah, we
band.
retired that band, which will never really be retired, but that's a whole nother story. We decided, you know what, why don't we get in, like we've been writing this children's music. We love to do it. We love working with children. It's just like, it's when our two worlds collided into one, essentially. So that was last year. Our first record was a year ago. It was called Your Star. I think you're playing some songs off of today. And then our new album, which is called Hat Lady Magic, we finished recording about a month ago, and it was a release this past Thursday. So that's sort of the evolution of the band. And then as far as the name goes, we felt like that name really captured us because we both wear a lot of hats. Our mother is like way into hats, and she's always talking about all her hats. And whenever you come over, she like makes people put hats on. It's kind of weird, but she's like a joyful, energetic person. And the whole idea of just wearing a lot of hats and doing a lot of things and having a lot of different sort of lanes that you go back and forth on every day really captured who we are. So then we looked to see if it was available on GoDaddy, and it was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys picked a fun, unique name. Something I should have done, because there are so many other Patrick Adamses out there.
Yes.
I did hear somebody funny once talking about band names, and they said all band names stink until you become famous. And then they don't stink anymore. So
Very
if
true.
Hootie and the Blowfish can make it big, why not?
Yeah,
Like,
Hat Lady.
there you go.
Yeah, Hoobastank, or
Yeah.
there's a laundry list of them.
Saliva. How about saliva?
Woo,
But the Hat Ladies is fun.
thank you. And
So
it's part of our story too. So
yeah, so tell us a little bit about your backgrounds. When did you start, just making music?
great question. So Lisa and I, even though we're siblings, musically we had kind of some similar interests, but probably just as many, if not more, different personal styles and interests musically as far as genres is concerned. Like, we both love funk music, but Lisa has more of a hardcore and punk rock background and rock music, and I'm definitely more of a soul, R&B, funk, that type of background. So, and we have been playing music all of our lives. I mean, we grew up in a very musical house. We're one of five children. We're two of five children, I should say. And it just never seemed unusual. We never felt different or unique among people to have just music being played in your house almost all the time. Our home growing up was rarely a quiet place. Um, and thankfully, we had have parents who are very supportive, who have pretty much been our biggest cheerleaders and fans the whole way through. So over the years, Lisa and I mostly played in different bands, but sometimes we were in bands together. When she was out in LA ahead of us, we're originally both from Massachusetts. She moved out to LA about, I don't know, 10 years before me. She was signed to a record label, a drummer of a band called Heidi, and they were living and working out here. And she had been trying to get me to come to LA for the longest time. And then finally, when my own kids were grown, I said, okay, now's the time. So I moved out and joined Lisa and joined her band as a bass player. And then it just grew from there after that. So for us now at this stage of our lives, we don't really think so much about what genre or what, style of music we're writing, and more about what do I think sounds really good. And that could be different things on different songs. And to me, it's whatever style you think it is, the listener. You listen to it, you tell us what you think. And it's pretty rare that we actually get multiple listeners who feel and experience the music the exact same way, that would put it in the exact same column. It's a little of this, a little of that. And the nice thing is the landscape for artists nowadays is just there's so much opportunity for you to have influence over your own art. And that's what we're doing. It's just kind of a marriage of all of our what we like to hear, what we like to play. And we hope everybody else likes it as much as we do.
Yeah. All right. So your first album, kids album, that was You're a Star, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about that one and feature a couple songs from that. But before we do, talking about growing up in a musical household, it kind of, I want to ask the question of both of you. What is the very first favorite song you can remember having?
Oh, I know this one. You want to go first, Lise?
Yeah. You go first. I
Okay,
have to
okay.
think a second.
So for me, I was listening to classic soul and R&B and a little bit of disco when I was younger. And my first favorite song, my first album that I ever bought with my allowance, the vinyl, was the Beatles.
Hmm.
Loved that. Our whole family loved it. But in terms of outside of that, I loved You Dropped the Bomb on Me by the Gap Band. You
That's a
dropped the
great song.
bomb on me, baby. Yes, exactly. And I remember that was the B side of another song of the 45. I'm dating myself right now, but the little 45 record, and you turn it over, and I wore that song out. I loved it so much. And most of my friends couldn't understand why I would like it.
Yeah, the
But I was
song is now playing in my head, but yeah,
yes, if your ears might be a little bit broken if you don't like it on some level. It's a
I
great song.
know.
And the Gap Band's awesome.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Lisa?
I can't, I remember my parents always had instruments around. They always had them. And, as a child, our mother used to put records on and march us around the house and playing like, what is it? The Carpenters. I
Yeah.
remember songs from the Carpenters. And as a child, it's just like this, it's so fun with people dancing around the house. But I think independently as an independent person, it was probably the timing of being in my late, like
This
not
station.
not teenager, but like 10 years old is the Beatles. And I remember we had that album, Meet the Beatles. We had like three albums, and one of them was Meet the Beatles, and I was just changed for life with that record. And I know every single word to this day. And my friends and I and my sisters and brother, we would we had these big mirrors in our room, and we would pretend like I got to be John and I got to be, and we'd pretend we were the Beatles and look in the mirror and pretend we're playing. And
Make up a
it was
routine and
just,
wake up our
it's
parents.
just like I never looked back after that album. That's when I started playing like drums and just getting really into it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So on the Beatles theme, my very first favorite song I can remember having was actually by Ringo Starr. It's the No No song.
Mm.
I
Mm.
don't know if you're familiar with that one, but
I'm
um,
ready
as,
to get down.
yeah, as a young child, that was a very curious first favorite song to have, just because some of the lyrics. And then Boney M. My dad loved the band Boney M. I don't know if you've heard of them, but the song Daddy Cool. So if you've never heard that one, go check it out.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. Will do.
All right. So the first album was called You're a Star. So tell us a little bit about how that album came together.
The um the first album, as Lisa alluded to, over the years, we have a catalog of songs that we've written for our own students or to serve some type of educational need. And it's something that music teachers do pretty frequently. And when we finally made the decision to do a children's album, we pulled from the songs that we had done from over the years that we really loved. And some of them got completely reimagined and redone. Some of them were written for the album, but we figured what we experienced with students in the classroom is that they like a lot of the same music that their parents like. And they are experiencing and listening to music together thanks to streaming. You know, people go home and they put music on their Alexa and the kids know it. So as it turns out, little kids like really good music too. So we wanted to put together an album that wasn't just for kids, but kids could enjoy listening to it with their parents. And it wasn't something that would be so difficult to listen to on repeat 8 million times, as little
Yeah.
ones are known to do. But it was really a collection of some music that we had done with students over the years, and then a region imagining of some other songs. And Your Star was a song that I actually wrote many years ago for a summer performing arts program that Lisa runs. And it we kind of again just reimagined it for the album, and that's how it came together. And You're a Star is the name of that song.
Yeah.
The Sing Loud, I had produced another children's artist. Her name is Melissa Green. And I wrote that song with her for her album that was, I don't know, 10 years, no, I mean, not that far, but like 5 years earlier. So that was one that we decided to re-record and put on the album as well. And that song actually went on to win a John Lennon songwriting competition in the children's category, which is pretty cool.
Very cool. All
Good
right.
job, Lisa.
Well, we got three songs that we're going to feature, and Sing Loud is actually first. So, kind of sticking with that one, tell us a little bit more about that one.
I could tell you that the chorus, that this is one that was written with Melissa, was in the very before it was written, I was like, we need to do a song that pedagogically speaks to young children. And if you're like Kodai and Orff trained, like that's teacher talk, there's the hand signals with, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And the most basic interval to start with for like kindergartners, you always start with so and me. So me, so me. So that was like, we got to write something that goes with so me. So then we're like, stand up, and the rest just took off from there. And I think that is, I mean, I'm trying to like, I'm philosophizing it a little bit when I'm like, why? It's because of pedagogy and blah, blah, blah. But I do keep bringing it back to that. So, it just was built from that point and just
Mhm.
happened after that.
And
Magic.
inter-
Hot lady magic.
yes. And then after, so that song had been in rotation, and I actually performed that song with my first grade class. And Lisa's absolutely right. Like pedagogically, it's great, and they love the song. And I also do a American Sign Language unit, so they learn all of these sign language, and they actually the unit is they do the sign language while they sing, and they love it,
Yeah, they love it.
love
It's
it.
really good. And we also got we had all the songs transcribed for with notation so people could just and it's free on our website really, and you can just get the chords and lyrics and sheet music from there too.
And backing tracks too, I believe,
And
right?
backing tracks.
Yep. Which as teachers, whenever that is available to us, we're like, oh, that's amazing. That's one less thing I have to do.
Yeah.
So that was something that we wanted to put together as a resource for other music educators too, and families who are musical.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to check that song out now. Here it is, Sing Loud by the Hat Ladies.
Stand up, sing loud, be proud, stand up for love, tear it up and let it be, 'cause everybody wants to be free. Stand up, sing loud, be proud, stand up for love, tear it up and let it be, 'cause everybody wants to be free. Sing, 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 a song that is so true. Loud, loud, loud. Your voice so we can hear you. Shout, shout, shout. What you wanna get out? Now, now, now. What you gonna sing about? Sing, sing, sing. Of a place you wanna be. Jump, jump, jump. So high so you could see. Run, run, run. And run and run and run. Fly, fly, fly. So you can reach the sun. Stand up, sing loud, be proud, stand up for love, tear it up and let it be, 'cause everybody wants to be free. Stand up, sing loud, be proud, stand up for love, tear it up and let it be, 'cause everybody wants to be free. Tap, tap, tap your toes so they can get out. Shake, shake, shake it out without a doubt. Clap, clap, clap your hands to the beat. Stomp, stomp, stomp like you have really big feet. Spin, spin, spin around and off the ground. Oh, oh, oh. And twirl and turn around. Dance, dance, dance and be who you really are. Rock, rock, rock it out like you're a rock star. Stand up, sing loud, be proud, stand up for love, tear it up and let it be, 'cause everybody wants to be free. Stand up, sing loud, be proud, stand up for love, tear it up and let it be, 'cause everybody wants to be free. Let's celebrate all the beauty within you. Let's celebrate all the beauty in all of us. Stand up, sing loud, be proud, stand up for love, tear it up and let it be, 'cause everybody wants to be free. Stand up, sing loud, be proud, stand up for love, tear it up and let it be, 'cause everybody wants to be free. Sing, 'cause everybody wants to be free. 'Cause everybody wants to be free. 'Cause everybody wants to be free. 'Cause everybody wants to be free.
And that was Sing Loud. Next song we're going to talk about is called Human. Tell us about this one.
Ooh. Okay. So Human is was written with Jeremy Wendell Jones. He's an LA viola player, amazing, incredible musician. And the summer program Joanie was talking about earlier, he's one of the teaching artists that works there. And so in our program, these bands split up. We just have like basically all these bands. There's like 30 bands that are all writing and learning or learning songs or whatever. And Jeremy wrote a lot of Human with the kids. So they wrote this and they performed it at the ending concert, like the culminating event at the end of the summer program. And I'm like, Jeremy, that song, I love that song. So we ended up with Jeremy, he's singing on it with us on the recording. So he came in the studio. We wrote some other parts as well, some new lyrics, and a bridge and whatnot, and it came together. And I'm so happy. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. I always get like a little weepy when I listen to it. So that's pretty much the story of it. And Jeremy performs with us regularly. In fact, tonight he's playing with us tonight and tomorrow too.
It just as also a side note at our school, these are tough times right now for everybody, including kids. And so at the last year or during the school year, we have this event where,
Generations Day.
Generations Day. So grandparents or special friends get brought to the school to see, tour around. And we were able to teach Human to the entire school, every single grade, and to listen to a chorus of 325 students or so all singing this song together. Man, if it hit,
Everybody was crying.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Everybody was
Yeah.
crying.
got me right in the feels. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, let's check this song out. Here it is, Human, featuring, let me make sure I get the name right, Jeremy Wendell Jones.
Correct.
Human featuring Jeremy Wendell Jones by the Hat Ladies.
Yeah, I like the day, you like the night.
I eat with my hands, you use a fork and knife.
And I like Star Wars episodes 1, 2, 3.
And I like the old ones playing on TV.
I'm more LA and you're more New York.
You like staying in and I'm an extrovert.
And when it seems we could never work, we come together. We'll come together in the end. Oh, we're human. Oh, we're human. And in the end, we'll make amends. And we'll sing along like yeah. I get sour, but you stay sweet.
You dance in the crowd while I tap my feet.
Though it seems like a mystery, we come together. We'll come together in the end. Oh, we're human. Oh, we're human. And in the end, we'll make amends. And we'll sing along like it's not who's wrong, it's not who's right. We can still see eye to eye. Lessons learned, no bridges burned. That's the way to be human. It's not who's wrong, it's not who's right. We can still see eye to eye. Lessons learned, no bridges burned. That's the way to be human. Oh, we're human. Oh, we're human. And in the end, we'll make amends. And we'll sing along like
And that was Human. And we're going to wrap up our song feature and go back to that song, You're a Star. So tell us a bit more about this one.
So, Your Star was written many years ago for the program that Lisa was talking about. And it was actually, she convinced me the summer before I moved to come out and be a guest artist and teacher at the program. And the minute I started working with her, I was like, oh man, I got to be here. This is the place for me. So the song was written during that visit, and it's really a kind of a recurring theme that we talk a lot in our music about, and also as musicians and teachers, that this idea of resilience and how to how to use all the different resources in your life to persevere. Basically, I know the feeling when you stop believing that you can do anything. And then just call on me anytime that you need, and I will tell you the truth. And that's part of the lyrics, just empowering young people to be have perseverance and tenacity and grit and all these things, and to how to continue believing in yourself even when you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders.
All right.
Themes that we can all relate to.
Yes.
While you're saying,
No
I'm like,
doubt.
oh, that sounds like I need to listen to
Yeah.
that again.
As kids and adults, for sure.
Yes.
All right. Let's check this one out. Here it is. You're a Star by the Hat Ladies.
I know the feeling when you stop believing that you can do anything. Call on me anytime that you need, and I will tell you the truth. Sometimes we all get down, and all we do is fight, but come on, turn it upside down. My heart comes to the sky, that's why I let it fly. This heart of mine will soar, 'cause I'm a star. Let spirits in the air, show me how much you care. Shine light on all the world, 'cause you're a star. Yes, you are. You're a star. Yes, you are. I see you crying, but how about trying to sing, to lift you up? I've got your back, give you any flack. Just listen to the words that I'm saying. Sometimes we all get down, and all we do is fight, but come on, turn it upside down. My heart comes to the sky, that's why I let it fly. This heart of mine will soar, 'cause I'm a star. Let spirits in the air, show me how much you care. Shine light on all the world, 'cause you're a star. Yes, you are. You're a star. Yes, you
And that was You're a Star. The album has the same title, You're a Star. Where can people stream, purchase, and download that album, and how can they find and connect with you?
Well, we're on all social media. You can find the Hat Ladies there. You can also find us on YouTube,
Streaming sites.
streaming sites. We're also streaming on pretty much all platforms, on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp.
I love Bandcamp too because you can read the lyrics and you can find out the credits. It's almost like an album cover. Bandcamp's so cool.
I'm
I
about
love
to
it.
like beef up my Bandcamp. I started one, but
Yeah.
got through like uploading 2 albums and then got distracted with other things. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a favorite among musicians, to other musicians for that reason. It's just
Yeah.
so much more.
And you can buy the file too. If
Right.
you want to actually buy the file.
But you can go to hatladiesmusic.com, and you can find us on Instagram and Facebook and all the social media platforms.
WHAT, Hat
Hat
Ladies
Ladies
Radio.
Radio.
We have a radio show that we put on YouTube. We've done 4 episodes and we're about to do another one. It's our Hat Lady radio show.
It's very silly
It's
and
like
very
a
fun.
variety show of Hat Ladies.
yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah.
So after that, you have this. You have a new album out, Hat Lady Magic,
Yes.
um, and very, very cool piece of information from that. And it's because I just watched this movie. It's John Cena and Awkwafina star in this movie called Jackpot, and you have a song in that. Tell us about
Yeah.
that.
It's the scene when they're in the car and it's they're the on the radio is our song. It's a
Mhm.
cover of the Brady Bunch song Sunshine Day.
That is
So that's
so cool,
that's the story. Yes.
and that's a great song too. So,
It
It
is.
is a great song.
It really is.
uh,
It's
so
fun like when you learn it, like when you learn a song and get inside of it, you really appreciate it even more.
Yeah, no, there's been a couple different cover versions of that that I've listened to, and um, no matter what the cover, it's just a very well written, fun, bouncy song,
Yeah.
and it's hard to mess it up. It's
Yeah, it
It's
is.
it's actually you use the exact language that I find myself repeating a lot, which is I just love a well-written song.
yeah,
Written song is
I
timeless.
thought you were going to say the bouncy part. I like the bouncy
Yeah,
part.
the bouncy part's nice too. But what is old is new again because a well-written song just lasts forever.
yeah, it spans the generations for sure.
Yeah.
Very
I've had
cool.
like that's the best way to best chances I have at being immortal are writing some songs.
Yep,
That's
absolutely. Um,
Immortal. Okay.
shush you.
anything more about the new album that you'd like to share?
Other than we're really excited and we're really proud of the work that we put out and also being able to have a children's and family album. It's something that both Lisa and I have always wanted to do. And this is really, like she said, our worlds colliding. We're really super excited about it. There's something on it for everyone.
I do have something to share about the album itself, is that we went into, so we work at a school in the Fernando Valley, and there was another school on the opposite end of the San Fernando Valley. And I was, teaching my fifth graders all these songs. And then one day, I have family that was in another school and they didn't have any music classes, right? So I said, I'm going to come to your school and I'm going to teach the same song, so I don't have to relearn. And I'm going to come in and we're going to sing songs. I'm going to come in, once a week and teach everybody the songs. It's going to be so fun. And everybody loved it. It was really, really fun. And then I had this idea: what if we brought both schools together to sing together? So we organized this big day, and and the kids came, and then all right, this is when you're in California, in LA, these are the kinds of things that happen sometimes. Is a friend of mine that works at Paramount Pictures sent over a Pro Tools crew because he heard about the event and recorded the whole thing. And so we have all this audio of 200 children singing bits and pieces of songs. So when you hear the title track, the first song on the record is called "Itty Bitty Me," and it was, it's an original song that was written for those kids in that moment to get together, to bond, to learn about each other, ask questions, fill gaps. And, it was the most amazing day. It was just beautiful,
Mm.
beautiful day. And we captured in that audio, and then we completed the whole song around that audio. So it's really built around that moment. We recorded, I think, 5 songs, and three of their vocals are on this record. But that is really was like that was called the Itty Bitty Me sessions, and then we made a song, Itty Bitty Me. So it came from that, from that moment. And I love when a song is born in a moment like that, in that we all remember so well. Like anyone that was there remembers possibility.
Yeah, that
Cool.
sounds amazing. All right. Well, Lisa and Joni, thank you so much for coming on the show. It has been awesome to learn about you. I am now a Hat Lady fan. I've listened to
Yay!
your music, and we both kind of have the same approach. I want to make music that both kids and their parents can enjoy. And I've listened to yours, and it's very much in that same vein. So I wish you best of luck with this new album. And
Thank you so much, Patrick.
yeah, it's been great having you on, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
Kenny
Take care.
Rockstar.